carrots and pumpkin and ginger all in one vegan soup. And then we add one more ingredient to take it from ordinary to creamy perfection. The weather's getting colder, and if you're anything like me, a creamy, flavorful soup is just the coziest thing on these cool nights. Hi, I know you haven't seen a video from me in a while, and that is because I've been a little bit busy lately. If you can't tell, I am in a new kitchen, and that's because I moved recently. But this soup is so good, I just could not let one more fall go by without sharing this recipe with all of you. So since I've got no time to waste, let's go ahead and get right into what you're gonna need to make this recipe. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need is 5.5 cups of low sodium vegetable broth, and then we need 21 ounces of pumpkin cubes, which is about the amount you're going to get from a 2-pound pumpkin. This could be a pie pumpkin, it could be a butternut squash. This here is actually a Taiwanese pumpkin, so whatever pumpkin you have works. And to prepare this, you're gonna wanna cut it in half lengthwise, scoop out the seeds, slice off the skin, and then cut it into cubes. You're also gonna need 1.5 pounds of peeled and chopped carrots. This is the weight of the carrots after peeling, not before. And 1 teaspoon of ginger root, peeled and grated. 3/4 of a cup of cashews, and you're gonna wanna pre-soak these in hot water for 10 minutes. Just make sure that you measure before you soak the cashews, because you can see these have expanded, and this is more than 3/4 of a cup right now. And finally, 3/4 of a cup of water, and then for seasoning, we've got 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and salt and pepper to taste. Okay, so I've got my soup pot here, and I am just adding in my vegetable broth over medium heat, and then I'm just going to add in my seasonings, not including the salt and pepper, and whisk it up a bit. If you cannot eat spicy things, you can leave out the red pepper flakes. The soup is still delicious without it. Okay, so next I'm going to add in my carrot, pumpkin, and ginger, and then I'm going to bring it to a boil, then lower the heat, cover, and let it simmer for 30 minutes. Alright, so while my veggies are getting nice and soft over here, I am going to blend up my cashews and water into a cashew cream, which is the key to taking this soup to the next level of creaminess. Alright, well my veggies have been cooking for 30 minutes now, so they are nice and soft, and that means we're actually almost done. This mixture of broth and veggies needs to get blended up. So if you have an immersion blender, you could use that. I'm actually going to transfer this mixture over to my blender. My blender isn't large enough to do it in one batch, so I am going to need to do it in 2 batches. If that's the case for you, don't worry too much about how much pumpkin and carrot and broth, the proportions that you're getting in the blender. If it's different from one batch to the other, it's not a big deal, because it's just gonna get mixed up back together anyway. Alright, so we're just gonna blend that up until it's nice and smooth. Also, this soup is hot, so you don't want to completely seal off your blender. Make sure that you take off that center cap before you close up your blender. You can put a paper towel over it to make sure that nothing splatters out. And then we will mix both of those batches back together in the pot. Alright, so we've already got a pretty nice soup texture, but let's make it ultra creamy. Let's add that cashew cream. I have measured out 1 cup of the cashew cream, and I'm gonna mix that right in. At this point, you could also add your salt and pepper to taste. I couldn't get low sodium vegetable broth here in Taiwan, so I'm gonna skip the salt and actually just add some pepper here. Remember, it is a big soup, so you'll probably want to add more than you think. Just make sure that you're tasting it as you add it. So that's it. The only thing left to do is serve it. If you didn't notice, I still do have a little bit of cashew cream left over. So I'm gonna put the soup in the bowl, and then I'm gonna spoon some of this cashew cream right on top of the soup in a little swirl pattern. And then I'm gonna top it with some pumpkin seeds and red pepper flakes. What I love about this soup is the flavors of the ginger and pumpkin and carrot all just complement each other so nicely. And then you've got that cinnamon and nutmeg in there too. And the cashew cream, this creaminess, it's just a cherry on top. This is so good. It's so comforting. I hope you will try it. If you do, please let me know what you think. If you made it this far, I want to thank you so much for watching. I am still in my busy phase of being in a new country and trying to get all settled, but I'm hoping in the next couple months or so I'll be able to get back into getting you new recipes, new videos. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already to make sure that you don't miss any of my delicious vegan food. See you next time.